myself, why don't we allow these people to take over the whole of the South so that your eyes can now open? Because some of you are still blind. You're so foolish. You don't understand what is happening. I'll give you a very simple example. I despise Dangote. He is not the richest man in Africa. And I will tell you why. Because he's running a monopoly. In America, he will be in jail. I keep saying this. Every broadcast I come and I tell you. All of you were there. Let me tell you what the Fulanis have in store for you. Go into ordinary business. In every sphere of the economy, the Fulani dominate. Their stranglehold is total. They own over 90% of the oil wells. The reason why they own these oil wells is because people from the coastal region of Biafra land forgot who they are to allow the enemy to come in. That is why Ogoni land is polluted and can never be cleaned. That is why every year resource control with nothing happening. Because of the efficiency of divide and rule that they applied. Of course, the British applied. Let me tell you what they have done. Cement. Everybody must buy cement to build a house because of the way the white man taught us to build houses. Whereas before we used to use clay to build our houses to maintain the temperature inside at 26 or 27 degrees centigrade. And all of a sudden it's all breeze block. That is a conductor of heat. Let's put that to one side. For you to build a house, let me tell you how clever the Fulanis are with their British advisors. Everybody needs shelter at some point. If you're successful in life, you're bound to build a house. Even if you don't build, you're bound to rent a house. You're not going to sleep outside. The landlord that built the house or the owner of the house must have built it with a cement. You see how clever they are. The Fulanis thought to themselves, let us control the cement industry. How are they going to control it? By killing off and closing every other cement producer in the country. So that only one man, he's not going to produce the cement. He's going to import the powder and bag it somewhere in Lagos. That's how you have Dangote cement. Over the years. Some of you may have forgotten, but my uncles used to work at Niger Cement Factory at Nkalago, built by Dr. Michael Lopar. Niger Sem is called, on Nkalago Cement. Some of you have forgotten, but I'm sure if you're as old as I am, you remember BCC Lions of Boko. Have you forgotten Lion Cement from Benue? BCC means Benue Cement Company. They used to have cement in Benue State. There was Elephant Cement, Ego Cement, Ashaka Cement, Boham Cement. Even Ibeto had his own cement. Now, you people complain, they don't have any jobs, they are miscreants, they have no jobs. But you people, the same Fulani that you people idiotically voted for, or claim you voted for, are the people that shut down all these factories. They want Fulani to control you. They gave the monopoly, the license to import cement to one single Fulani man. Dangote. That was why they put Ibeto in prison. EFCC called him and imprisoned him to stop him from selling cement. Only one Fulani, only one, mind you, they're in control of the oil. Only one Fulani man. Some of you are so stupid in Nigeria. I don't know the type of God that made some of you, but I will educate and I will enlighten you. If you listen to us without bias, believe you me, your life can never be the same again. Your brain will open. Let me give you an example of what is happening to you. Before now, there was nothing, and Obasanjo is very stupid, I'm telling you. Obasanjo is an idiot. Obasanjo was the man that rubber stamped some of these things that I'm telling you right now this evening. Not only do Fulanis control the oil well, there were a lot of people, thousands of people working in the refineries. Let me tell you what they did next. They went into the refineries and they shut every refinery down. They went and built a refinery under Abacha in Equatorial Guinea. They went into a consortium with the British and built a refinery in Exeter, in England. Now, this crude oil that previously would have been refined in One, in Iguacha, Port Harcourt refinery, in Warri, or to an extent, Kaduna, now we ship them abroad and made every worker in that place useless, rendered them unemployed. Money wasn't coming in. I want people to understand when Lai Muhammad was saying, what holds us together is more than what, all that rubbish, nonsense. I want to tell you how Fulani took over your lives before your eyes, as you're watching, talking about Nigeria, our flag, our team, Super Eagles, Green Eagles, Siglet, talking about the Fulani, we are stealing your lives away from you before your own eyes. Fulani was not content in owning the oil wells. They shut down the refineries where our parents were working, where you could study petroleum engineering, graduate, and find a job to feed your family. That sector was shut down. Remember, they shut down the cement sector. Very critical. Every day there's construction going on, isn't it? It's a very critical sector of the economy. Building raw materials, of course. Fulani, Dangote, one man. Now, let me tell you what they did very cleverly. They came to the petrol. Not only the oil well is not enough, to tell you how much they hate you. They call you a Nigerian, let's unite, but they despise you. They hate you. If not, why would they shut down all the cement factories and allow one man to import? I didn't say produce, import. You will have limestone in Nkalag right now in Ebonyi State rotting away. Shut down. BCC in Nuboko, shut down. Maybe you don't have taken it to rebag, not to produce, not to manufacture cement, but to import cement powder and rebag it. That's all that they do. And they claim they love you. They claim they want to see Nigeria progress. I am doing this program this evening to let the whole world understand that there is no basis for unity in Nigeria, because the whole thing is based on evil and wickedness. Why? Because Fulani people are not hardworking people. They can't wake up by 5 or 4 in the morning to go to work. I challenge anybody. All those factories that you see in Lagos, in all those industrial belts, I challenge anybody anywhere in the world to tell me if a Janjaweed can wake up by 4 in the morning to go to work in a factory. It's a challenge to everybody. Show me one. Now listen. They took over cement, which is very critical. They took over oil itself, the only country that private individuals share oil wells amongst themselves. That is not enough. Instead of moving that oil to the refinery to be refined, where we can find jobs to make kerosene available easily, to make fuel available to run our car. No, not at all. To tell you how evil they are. Those claiming and shouting one Nigeria, to tell you how satanic they are. They moved all those jobs abroad by shutting down all the refineries that you have in your zoo country. And who is in charge of NNPC? Fulani and the Kiari family. Understand? Now, you see what they did? They now moved crude oil abroad to the refineries that they built with stolen money from the public coffers. It doesn't end there. Denying you jobs is not the end. It's not even their problem. Now, to bring that refined petrol back into Nigeria, you will not pay subsidy again to bring back into the country what left the country for free. Zoo. Only if black people can reason. They took away cement sector, very critical in the building of any economy in the world. They took away oil, which is the only thing that you have, so to speak. They export it, they export it and they make money. They bring it back and you pay tax for it. Yet no refineries are working. That is how you have fuel subsidy. The meaning of fuel subsidy is that your refineries are not working. Not that they will not work if you turn them on, but because Fulani shut it down, that they may control your lives. 2 sectors. We must all eat, isn't it? Everyone must feed every day. You have to eat something. There is no food you cook in our land without salt in it. No. You must add salt now. It's normal. You cannot have tea in the morning without sugar. Dangote. Ordinary Indomie. Dangote. There was a Biafran I met in Netherlands. He wanted to bring Indomie into the zoo. I think he brought sample. They arrested him at the airport and put him in jail for trying to disrupt Dangote's stranglehold on the, should I say, the ready meal industry, pasta and all this other rubbish that people eat. Only them. Only them. You cannot feed without contributing to Fulani domination of your life. In religion, those of you who are Muslims, Fulani is number one. Politics, they are number one. Army, they are number one. The police, they are number one. Everywhere, they are number one. Anytime you talk, unity, unity, unity. They hit you, they kill you, they arrest you, they shoot you, anything, unity. Because they know what they're benefiting. The final game is to hand over our land and our forests to their brothers and sisters from the Sahel. And it's happening before our eyes. One shut down refinery that could have employed millions of people. Igbo down, Warri down, even Kaduna. Who built Kaduna refinery? It's not Obasanjo. They asked me, said he's diversifying the location of major industries. He wanted to please the Fulani masters that put him in power. They built Kaduna refinery. You have to move oil all the way from the south to the north. They can pipe oil to the north and everywhere else, but they cannot pipe clean water to your homes. They cannot pipe gas to your homes. And they claim, they tell you, we protect one Nigeria. We are all Nigerians. We are going to make progress. Progress how? For how many years? How can you make progress by shutting down industries that employ people, rendering them unemployed, and importing into the country finished items and products that you could have produced in your country? Are you listening to me? So what Lai Mohammed is saying is rubbish. He was born in Ilorin, I'm sure. He's a Muslim. So to him, Islamic rule is nothing. In fact, he'll welcome it. He's a Muslim. That is why he is pushing for the caliphate agenda, that they may dominate our lives. And as I said before, and as one man also said, you cannot in this life control a people unless you have somebody on the inside doing it for the oppressor. I want you to listen to this very clip tonight. Listen very, very attentively. Listen to it attentively. Of course, they can attack my Facebook page or the like. They're wasting their time. After this program, I'll quietly put the SoundCloud there. You can go down and listen to it. If you want to listen to us, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. We are on our app, which is IPOB Community Radio app. We're on everywhere. If you want to, we're on YouTube, of course. If you want to listen, you can listen. I want to play something for all of you. Listen. Against their fellow blacks. Listen to this very, very carefully, please. I want you to listen to what I have to play now. I started playing it prematurely. And I've not forgotten those who are doing their fundraising in Maryland, in the United States of America, of course. I do commend each and every one of you who are participating this very afternoon. I think it's afternoon in Maryland. It is afternoon in Maryland. It's about 3 p.m. in Maryland, if I'm not mistaken. All of you who are participating, I say well done to all of you. Well done to all of you who are participating at the fundraiser event in Maryland. We need it. And not once, it has to be continuous, please. When you pay tax, you don't pay tax once, it's continuous. We need to defend our land. It has fallen to us to defend it. And we are doing it very, very gallantly, I assure you. We are fighting a whole host of enemies, your stupid governors, some foolish Igbo's. We are fighting a Fulefus, we are fighting informants, we are fighting Ndeli, we are also fighting the Zoo army, the Zoo, everybody. Only this noble family. And if Elohim is not with us, how can we make the progress that we have made so far? I want you to listen to what this man has to say. He's a preacher, I'm telling you. A preacher of the truth. The conquest of a black man, the enslavement of a black man couldn't have been possible without another black man. After listening to this, you tell me the difference between those that sold us as slaves in the past and the governors and the so-called leaders you have now. No difference. It's only that we have come to say that enough is enough. We can no longer tolerate this rubbish. That's all. I want people to pay close attention to this program this evening. Pay very close attention. In fact, listen to it 10 times over to understand. the hopelessness and the idiocy of the brain of a black man. Anybody who believes in Nigeria, believe you me, that person is not worthy to live as a human being. Listen to this. Very, very carefully, please. Listen.
Traditional leaders and the slave trade.
Slave trade.
We blame the whites for the slave trade we went through. We blame the whites that they offended us. They took us as slaves. But let's wait for a minute. Who sold the black man to the whites? Who sold the black man to the whites? Our own traditional leaders. The enemy is not outside. The enemy is within.
Always inside.
We're asking the Europeans to pacify us and also to apologize to us. Our traditional leaders must be the first to apologize on behalf of their ancestors for the evil they have done against their fellow blacks. Look at our attitude towards the environment and the destruction of our water bodies. All our river bodies are turned into dark brown. And you know what they said? In the next 20 years, if we don't stop this illegal mining, Ghana, we will import water to drink. Yet we don't care. And Chinese, they will come from their country into our forest, destroy our forest, destroy our land, and illegally mine and damage our waters. How can they come if the traditional leaders didn't give them permission to do that? And in one instance, while they were dead, our military went there to protect them. Our own military
Africa
was supposed to protect us.
This is black. Hell, Lord,
Foreigners to destroy our water and destroy our forest. The enemy is not outside, the enemy is within. If you look at our own systems and structures in our country, we don't have a better system to improve the lives of people. That's why I was surprised when I read in China, they had a 10-year vision. And they said from 2011, their vision was that in 10 years from 2011, and 10 years from 2011 will be what year? This year, 2021, that they will raise over 20% of the people to become multi-millionaires. Now in 2021, they have 1.8 million Chinese who are multi-millionaires in China, and they are between the age of 40 to 50 years. Multi-millionaires. The government intentionally decided that they will make sure they will have 20% of the population multi-millionaires. They also agreed that they will make sure that they will lift up the poorest of the poor, and they lifted 100 million people from begging to live a better life. But in this country, in our country, we fight our own businessmen. Our government will fight our business people. When they know that your business is thriving, and they know that perhaps you are not sympathetic towards the running party or the ruling party, they will fight you, collapse your company, and make you poor. When in China, they want to make the people rich. In Africa, we want to make our own people poor. The enemy is not outside. The enemy is within. Look at the African.
Do you now understand it? Very clear. Preacher from Ghana preaching the word of God. This is what I call preaching. Not all that nonsense they talk head or the 40 million auditorium rubbish. They can never speak the truth. Imagine if every Sunday in the churches that you have in the South, even in the Middle Belt, the priests were to climb the pulpit and repeat exactly what this man is saying. There will be a revolution overnight. What the preacher did not say is that in China, before China became what they are today, there was a revolution by the people. Do you understand? This video is very clear. The enemy with black people, the enemy is always within. It's a good thing he's preaching from Ghana. The people that conquered Nigeria for the white man are Ghanaians. The West Africa Frontier Force is from Ghana, recruited from Ghana to come and fight. Fought us at Benin, fought us all the way at Arochukwu. Ghanaians recruited by white people. The same way we have today, those fighting a better tomorrow for our children are the so-called governors, so-called Igwe, so-called idiot, a beggar who lives in Lagos writing rubbish, claiming he's an intellectual. Compare the future they're offering you to the future that we are offering you. We are offering you a future of employment, a future where the vision of the government will be to produce, let's say, 2,000 millionaires every blessed year. The leaders of China are not making these millionaires for themselves, not the politicians, no, ordinary people, because they love their people. Look at what is happening where we come from. They impoverish their own people. Chinese, how can you build billionaires without industries and factories? But in the zoo called Nigeria, the lives of Ibeto are being impoverished. People who could have been millionaires are being impoverished so that the Fulani that is so work shy and lazy can ascend the throne of power, riding on our collective ignorance. That is why I hate Nigeria. Not that I hate the people in it or anything of that sort. It is the pervading ignorance that I find almost debilitating, I'm telling you. It is shocking. How long are we going to continue this way? They held their meeting in Kaduna. Nobody talked about youth unemployment. Nobody said, how are we going to get our children meaningfully employed? You claim you love your children. There are no jobs for them when they leave university. You have not sat down to strategize, to say, how do we provide? It is your job as a politician to provide jobs, or at least to create the enabling environment, to allow industries to thrive. But it is not happening because you don't love the people. That is why your first recourse is DSS arrest, army shoot. Because you're a tyranny. You people don't deserve to live. And until we rise above all this nonsense, the country or the homes where we come from, that we are likely to bequeath to our children will be far more worse than that we have encountered. In a country where hard work should be encouraged, where millionaires should be encouraged to emerge, because every millionaire has to employ somebody, even a house girl, or a houseboy, or a gardener, or a cleaner. Somebody is earning money and paying tax. So it is in your interest that you have that everybody is well off. But in Africa, we think that it has to be only us, only me and my family, me and my people, only us, only me will have the only upstairs in the village. It's not very good. The way we reason is very bad. Before our eyes, Ibeto was persecuted to extinction. He did nothing wrong. He's a businessman. He did nothing wrong. They squashed him. Some of you don't know, in a place called Numan, N-U-M-A-N, Numan, in Gongola State, in those, I don't know what they call it. What is Gongola State now? I don't know what they call it now. Is it Yobe? There was a place called Savannah Sugar Company. My uncle, the Mahamefle, used to work there. I was to go there on holidays and I was told that the company has been shut down. Savannah Sugar Company in Numan. Do you know they used to produce sugar? In Yobe State, Yobe, they used to produce sugar there. Nobody is coming up and saying, let us revive this Yobe. It will give our people jobs. You know, with sugar, you do a lot of things with sugar anyway. Some of you don't know that the rum you drink, you know, the Southern Comfort you take. You know, rum, Southern Comfort. It's sugar from sugar cane. You don't know that sugar is alcohol. You don't know that? Hey, sorry, it's Adamawa. They say it's Adamawa. I do apologize. You know, I don't know which is which. I don't know which is Taraba, Adamawa, all this rubbish, all these stupid, idiotic names they come up with. I used to know Gongola State. In Gongola in those days, there is a place called Numan. If Fulani Janjaweed were working in the sugar factory, what time would they have to go and do banditry? Lai Mohammed and his so-called intelligent stakeholder group will not discuss this. You have stakeholders who are themselves bandits, economic bandits and criminals, holding down your fortune and your future on the ground without any of you knowing about it. There is a place, the largest textile mill in West Africa was in Kaduna, built by Ahmadu Bello. It's shut down. Today you import textiles from abroad. Old London farm settlement from where the Malaysians came and learned how to plant palm tree. Run down. Some of you, I said this thing many years ago, some were in a shock for days. Let me repeat. Do you know that Nigeria imports palm oil? We import palm oil from the same Malaysia that we taught how to process oil, palm oil. And the people responsible for this destruction of our future will stand up and say, we love you, we love Nigeria. I mean, come on, for goodness sake. Are we that foolish? Are we that stupid? I'm asking all of you. That is why they don't want us to preach. That is why Facebook will suppress, remove people, make things as horrible as it is. But had Mark Zuckerberg been a zoo product, his invention or his creation will not see the light of day. He will not be a multi-billionaire today. People don't understand what we are fighting. We are not just fighting so that we can be free. We are fighting to set other people free, to create a future that our children can remember and say, our fathers did this in our time. The same way that the Chinese are doing for their people. Every blessed day. It doesn't matter. I don't criticize them anymore because they're doing the best they can for their own people. Are you blaming them? Including eating our penises. If that is what makes them fine, so be it. Somebody will come to Africa, kill his own flesh and blood, a fellow African, cut off his penis and sell to the Chinese. And you're telling me that we are normal. Somebody is somehow telling me that such satanic creation like Nigeria should stand. I asked Lai Mohammed, they have never, since they came into power, I have never heard them one day, this useless, idiotic APC, say to themselves, how do we generate employment? I criticize Babangida all I like, but I recall very, very well. In fact, I believe that Babangida's economic blueprint was the best that the zoo had ever seen as a centrally run political entity. Not when they had the regions. And you know the funniest thing? Those who are against secession, so to speak, in their language, those who are against autonomy or freedom for the regions. The only time that Nigeria came close to attaining its potential was when everybody was on their own. Go and ask, consult your history books. Dr. Michael Alokpa's economy was 40% every year, the fastest growing in the world. Awolowo performed a miracle in the West. When I mean miracle that you cannot even believe what the man was able to do with ordinary cocoa. Transformed the entire West was transformed. Built the first stadium. Even the Janjaweed, Ahmadu Bello, and Tafawa Balewa, do you know what they did in the North? Go and look at the factories that they built in the North. When people look back with nostalgia at what Nigeria could have been, they were looking at Nigeria when the regions had their own government, when the regions had their own embassies abroad. These are the things they don't teach you in schools. But if you're fortunate to be listening to us, then you're highly blessed. And all these people who have a hand in sabotaging their own people. And as I said sometimes, that I don't think there is anybody anywhere on this earth that has come close to matching the accuracy of everything that we pronounce. You know, when I say it, you don't believe me. Some of you may remember when I used to say to Rochas Okorotia, you come back in shame.
Do you think that Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB were clearly responsible and still responsible for the insecurity that pervades in the Southeast?
Isn't Nnamdi Kanu the only separatist we have in this country? Don't you know about Showun? Don't you know about what is happening in the North, Southwest, everywhere? We have those who feel genuinely that they are being undermined in a country that they are not taking part of. And they are saying, listen, we need a change. Nnamdi Kanu, if you look at what the courts have said, the courts have not said that Nnamdi Kanu is a criminal. We have 3 existing judgments, one from High Court, one from Court of Appeal, even the Supreme Court have adjudicated and even said that the rendition, he's kidnapped from Kenya to Nigeria, is an illegal rendition. The world courts have said so too, that you do not illegally rendition anybody. We have processes. I work for Interpol. If you have any problem with anybody, you inform Interpol. Interpol has its SOP. It has its standard operating procedure. Nnamdi Kanu is not a problem. The problem is that we have a country where there is inequality, where there is the desire for a group of people to suppress unduly another group. And those who raise their heads up and say this is wrong, they are being branded all kinds of names. They are being branded all kinds of things. Nnamdi Kanu, is he the only one who is saying that he requires self-determination? He's not the only one, but he's the only one who is in detention. So I do not think that Nnamdi Kanu is the problem. But I know that his continuous detention is a problem. The continuous illegal detention of Nnamdi Kanu is a problem. It is not his detention, his process. No, it is his detention. We have all the various levels of the courts of law have indicated that the process is a wrong process. In fact, the very basic thing government used initially in renditing him illegally into the country, which is that he jumped bail. The Court of Appeal said he didn't jump no bail. He was running for his life.